Wow, 290 days, Minnesota, until the 2024 presidential election. And while that may seem like a long time or not very long, the election season is already very underway. The New Hampshire primary is next week. We already did the Iowa caucus, and come March, our state will hold its primary on Super Tuesday. And this is only the second time in modern history where that has happened, that Minnesotans will be holding a real presidential primary election this year instead of going with a straw poll at a rowdy caucus. We will join 13 other states on Super Tuesday, March 5th. That's a day that could very likely decide who the major party nominees for president will be in 2024. But early voting, that started today. And John Croman will give you a primary primer.
Open it and they will come. The Minneapolis Election Center already seeing some foot traffic on the first day of early voting for Minnesota's March 5th Super Tuesday presidential primary. The elections are run by cities and counties, but it's on behalf of political parties, a vote that decides who Minnesota's delegates to the national conventions will support.
I think there's high interest in it, so we do think there will be a significant turnout, and we are working with our local party units and encouraging them to try to go out, talk to voters in their district, reach out and encourage people to participate.
Regardless of your political party, your persuasion, or your candidate of choice, it's an amazing opportunity to have your voice heard early in this process and to help shape the contours of this upcoming really critical presidential race.
Unlike a regular election, you'll have to choose one of the major parties' ballots, Republican, Democrat, or legal marijuana now. Your vote will remain anonymous, but your choice of ballot will eventually be given to the chairman of the party you pick.
The reason these lists are provided to each party is, one, to comply with our national party rules, and two, to allow each party to take those names, and then, of course, to reach out to those folks who voted in the presidential primary and ask them to get involved and volunteer with their local party.
The reasoning is that this presidential primary replaced the old straw poll that we used to have on precinct caucus nights, when people had to sign in with the party to participate.
Which is frankly consistent with when we did straw balloting at caucuses in prior years. That's really what it was. The party got information about who showed up and who voted, and we had identified names and so forth. So it's consistent with that process, and I think that's how it should be.
Now, some people will still be uncomfortable with that, considering Minnesota is one of only 18 states where you don't register by party.
And that's just a cultural thing for us. Minnesotans are not used to signing government documents or disclosing to the government their political affiliation. Other states are, 32 states. They're fine with that, but our political culture in Minnesota has been that people are reticent about that.
A lot can change between now and March 5th, so you don't know which candidates will stay in the race. But until February 15th, you can claw back your absentee ballot and vote for someone else.
If they've changed their mind for any reason, one of the reasons obviously is if their candidate dropped out of the race, which is kind of a hazard in a contest like this as opposed to a general election. It's more likely in a general election to be a change of heart, not someone wholesale dropping out of the race.
Well, turnout will be something to watch. In 2020, far more Democrats voted in that primary because they had a lot more viable candidates that year, while Republicans had an incumbent. This year, it could be flipped. The parties will still hold precinct caucuses, by the way, to start the process of electing convention delegates. That'll be February 27th. And we want to thank the party chairs, Democrat Ken Martin and Republican David Hand, for talking to us today.
John, this is probably the last I'll see you before you head to New Hampshire for their primary.
That's right.
So what are you looking forward to on that trip?
Well, it's going to be interesting because independents can take part in that election. And so you're going to have like Nikki Haley, a Republican, and Dean Phillips, the Democrat, both trying to grab that same group of independent voters. So it'll be very interesting to see how that shakes out.